guys, I'm also a firm believer in getting out of debt and investing and letting your money actually work for you. We already talked about compound interest and passive income, and I've already shared some of the best income fund brokers with you guys already. But now let's just quickly discuss some of the costs of investing in an index fund. And so since they just basically follow the designated index like the S&P 500, they pretty much just run themselves, and for the most part they're cheaper than actively managed funds that actually try to beat the index but historically perform a little bit lower than the index funds themselves. And still, you've got to keep an eye out for the administrative costs, that keep on getting subtracted from your returns. So, two funds may actually have the same investment goal, like, tracking the S&P 500, but, they can vastly perform differently due to the management costs. And those fractions of percentage point may seem like no big deal, but your long-term investment returns can take a massive hit from the smallest fee of inflation. Typically, the bigger the fund, the lower the fees. And the main costs to check out here are really the investment minimums. They can be as high as a few $1,000s. Now, of course, you want to look at account minimums, you want to look at expense ratios, basically the percentage that they cut out of your earnings. And for context, the average annual expense ratio was 0.09% for stock index funds and 0.07% for bond index funds, versus 0.82% for active managed stock funds and 0.58% for actively managed bond funds, according to a 2016 report from the Investment Company Institute. And then you've got tax to cost ratio, right? So that's basically when you own an index fund, you actually get taxes called capital gains. Now, this usually means like another 0.3% of returns when invested in an index fund, according to a 2014 survey by Vanguard founder John Bogle. Now, this guy was like the creator of the index fund, and pretty much whatever this guy says, I'm kind of on board with it because I've actually looked at the research, I've actually looked at the history, and Jack Bogle, also known as John Bogle, this guy knows his stuff. Unfortunately, he passed several, probably 2 or 3 years ago, but this guy was a legend. And there's also free portfolio managers online or through your phone that you can actually download to keep track of all of this. I mean, personally, I would probably talk to like, maybe 2 or 3 different fund brokers so that you can compare though. So anyway, guys, that's